All right, folks, so in the last geometric construction video, practice 1, I showed you how to do these few problems. I'm just going to move those up, get them out of the way, and we'll start the next row of geometric construction problems, starting with the reverse OG. So the way to set this drawing up is I want to make sure that I'm in the construction layer, and I'm going to create a line that's just a horizontal line. And according to the dimensions here, I just want to offset that line to 0.5 inches. So I'm going to use the offset tool again. I love the offset tool. Type in 2.5 as my distance to offset and pick the line. It's going to create a parallel line that's 2.5 inches away from the first one. The next thing is to draw a line in a vertical direction, and I'm going to use the offset tool to offset that line 1.5. Now I have all of the construction lines in order to complete this problem. So I'm going to end up drawing two lines here. This and these 2 points are tangent points to these arcs. So I know that I can draw a object line from here to here, and then draw another object line from here to here, and I have it's at that point that the tangent point of this arc is going to be. There's also a third tangent point in between the two arcs where this arc turns into the other arc. There's a tangency. So to find that tangency, I'm going to draw a construction line from corner to corner, and I want to find the exact midpoint. So to find the midpoint, I can use the point tool. PO is the way to create a point, and place the point right here. Now, if your point doesn't look like mine, what was the command? Let's see. I can go back to find the command. I just forgot because it's a newer command to me. And this is a good way to go back and see, what did I do before? Looks like I did a lot of stuff before. And I might not have anything else there, so let me remind myself again, what's that point style command? P-type, for heaven's sakes, I should be able to remember that. Okay, P-type, you turn that, type in P-type and just set it to the configuration of the point type that you'd like to see. So I want to point out something, that when I change that point type, it changes the point type everywhere I've used points within the drawing. So I can only have that point type be set to one type at a time. And that's what's going to happen if I keep changing that type. Also, you can see that the point itself is changing sizes, and that size change is based on how far away, if I do a regen, see how those points get larger, or how close, I'm going to type in regen, we are to the screen. So it's set on a percentage based on the scale or how zoomed in or zoomed out we are to the drawing. If you would like those points to stay at a fixed size, let's go back into point type. And let's change this point size from percentage to set an absolute size. And I'm going to try setting it to 0.5 inches. That seems a little big, so let's try 0.125. That's perfect. So now it doesn't make any difference what scale or how far out or in I'm zoomed in. Those points are going to remain the same size. So for the next part here to create these arcs, I am going to go into the arc tool, and I know the arc start, end, and radius. So I'm going to click on start, end, and radius. Actually, I don't know the radius, do I? So I need to know this arc start and end. And I need to make sure that that arc has a correct center point. So we do need to do some bisecting of lines. So here's how we're going to do that. Use the circle command, and you pick from the point. I'm just going to draw a circle that I can tell goes past, if you take just this half of the line, this would be about where the midpoint is. I want to make that circle go past that point. But I'm going to copy that same circle so I know I'm using exactly the same radius and move it to the other side as well. So now where those two circles with the same radius intersect each other bisects this line segment from here to here. And it also locates for us right here where this line and this line intersect. It locates the center of the arc that would be tangent to this line and then become tangent to the second arc. So now I know where to put my center, start, end. So I'm going to use this tool, pick the center first, pick the start point and the end point. So something happened here. I'm going to try that again and make sure I'm reading my command line. This said start, center, end. I need to use the one that says center, start, end. So let's try that one instead. Center, start, end. What happened here? Well, remember that arcs go and angles go in a counterclockwise direction. So if I were to just have picked this point first and then this point second, then it would work. So third time's the charm. Center, start, end. Center, and then in a counterclockwise direction, I want to pick start and end. And then put that onto the object layer. Let's turn on my line weights. And we're starting to see that this is solving, okay? So yeah, let's keep those line weights on. So now let's do the same tool, center, start, end. And, I went a little bit too fast. I want to copy this same circle here. So I'm just going to highlight the circle and get the grips. Click on the grip in the middle, make it a hot grip. Right click and choose copy. So this is just another way to copy an item. Click here to place the copy and then draw a line from intersection to intersection. Now I can use the same tool I had, arc, center, start, end. So this is the center. What would be the start and the end? We need to move in a counterclockwise direction, so I want to go from there down to the bottom, and I want that to be on the object layer. All right, so I'm going to show you another way to do the same problem. I'm going to copy just the construction lines that we started with. And this time I'm going to use the line command and go from here to here. Well, let's make sure that we're set to object. So line, I'm going to go from here to here. And then I'm going to hit enter. And then I'm going to hit arc. But instead of picking a start point, I'm going to hit enter. Watch what happens. Do you see how this arc is remaining tangent to that line? So by hitting enter after choosing the command with arcs and lines, it will pick up at the last endpoint of the last arc or line that you drew, and it will remain tangent. Now to find the midpoint between these 2 points, I'm going to hold down the shift key, right click, and choose midpoint between 2 points. This is one of my favorite temporary object snaps to use. So that I can pick that intersection and this one, and it's going to find that point. Now I'm going to hit enter to repeat the arc command, and then I'm going to hit enter again, and it's going to remain tangent to the last arc so that I can pick this line. Now I'm going to type in the line command and hit enter, and you can see that the line can only be drawn at one angle that remains tangent to the arc. So when you know the start, the midpoint, and the end point of these arcs, you can use the line tools and use the repeat enter command to kind of get those lines and arcs to remain tangent to each other. So that is the second lesson. So what I'm doing is explaining the construction over here, exactly what's happening geometrically, and then I'm showing you the tools in AutoCAD that do the same thing.